Hey guys, it's Brian Taylor here with Dreamline Realty in Charlotte, North Carolina. The November market data was just released and I wanted to spend a few minutes with you today and go over where we currently stand. And as we head into the holiday season, should we expect a cool down? And what do we expect heading into 2022? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today, so stick around. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into the November housing market data. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel or you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that little red subscribe button down here in the right hand corner and then click that bell so you'll be notified when I put these market video updates out every month, along with other videos that I release every week where I talk about real estate topics to help our buyers and sellers. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, click that like button and leave a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts on where you think the market is headed as well. All right, so as we've mentioned in the past, the data we are looking at covers the entire Charlotte region, which includes 12 counties around the Charlotte area in North Carolina and 4 counties in South Carolina. And remember, the data we're talking about today is through October, as it's always 1 month in arrears. So let's get started. The first thing we'll look at is new listings. And this number is actually down by 5% from the previous time last year, which obviously tells us that sellers are holding back on putting their houses on the market. However, on the flip side, when we look at new listings from a year-to-date perspective, they're actually up by 4.3%. So even though we have new listings hitting the market, it appears that the gain in inventory is trailing by just a little bit. And next is pending sales. Pending sales were up 5.6% from this time last year, and this stat tells us that people are still buying these houses at a very quick pace, and properties aren't staying on the market very long, which we'll talk in more detail coming up when we look at the days on the market numbers. And following pending sales is closed sales. Now this number is somewhat surprising, as October showed a decrease of 5.3%. And this is important because it showcases the fact that there is less inventory available for sale than we saw in 2020. Okay, since we just mentioned it, let's talk about days on the market, which currently stands at 17 days. And this is a number that we're actually starting to see go up by just a little bit. In August, we were at 14 days on the market. So while this number is still incredibly low, as a whole, we are seeing properties sit on the market just a little bit longer than normal. And as we move into 2022, I expect to see this number continue to rise, but I think it will be a while before we see any significant change. Next, let's talk about average list price, and this is a big one. The average list price increased by 12.9%, and we finally crossed over the $400,000 mark, coming in at $407,786. And that's an increase of almost $80,000 from 2019. And this number is significant, and it's showing no signs of coming down at all. So if you look at that average list price that continues to rise into 2022, is people are still willing to pay over asking price for a lot of these properties. And the same thing holds true for the average sales price, where we hit $388,987, which is an increase of $83,000 from 2019. It's a seller's market, folks, and if you're thinking about selling, these equity gains are incredibly high. And that takes us to the percent of list price received, and this number continues to remain strong. As mentioned, sellers are still getting above asking price in a lot of cases, and on average that equates to sellers getting 100.4% of what they asked for their house. Now while this number remains strong, it has come down from 101.5% in August, and with the days on the market slightly increasing, this makes sense because we have noticed a number of properties that have taken price decreases. This tells us that some sellers have really tried to come in hot and take advantage of the market, but they've priced their houses too high and have realized that buyers aren't willing to be stretched that much, and they've had to lower the price to get back to market value. I think as we head into 2022, we'll start to see more normalcy where sellers won't be getting as much over asking price as a whole, but time will tell. And that takes us to inventory of homes for sale. This number stayed relatively flat from the previous year of 4,067 houses that were available for sale. And this month's supply of homes has also remained the same at 0.8 months, which hasn't changed much at all since August. So again, we have a long way to go, as a normal market is about 5 to 6 months of inventory. But I really think we are going to see some improvement as we head into next year. All right, so that is the November market update. And if you'd like to dive into these stats in more detail, or if you'd like our help and advice for your personal situation, our contact information is in the description below. And since we talked about multiple offers, and how they are playing out in the market, you may want to check out this video where we talk about appraisal addendums and how they come into play. Thanks for watching. Make it a great day.